Ladies and gentlemen, Mathys Tel apparently wants to leave Bayern Munich. This is the exclusive news that has dropped in. There's some bits and pieces in regards to Garnacho. What's happening with Garnacho? John Duran, is there possibly a swap deal with Aston Villa, knowing they're interested in our players, couple of our players? And remember Deivid Washington? That kid that we got from Santos, yeah, we've got a bit of news about him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Let's get stuck into it. Fabrizio Romano just dropped this exclusive literally moments ago. Mathys Tel has just decided to leave Bayern in January. Bayern and the player side will assess all the options on the market. Chelsea asked for Tel at the beginning of January, but there are more clubs also keen. Race open. Literally 24 hours ago, we were told that Mathys Tel is not interested to joining Chelsea Football Club, and that's the feeling that I get from this player. He's deep down, I don't think he's interested. Look, there still could be a possibility that he ends up joining Chelsea, but I don't think this guy's sold on the entire, you know, I don't want to say project. It's such a crap word to talk about, but yeah, maybe that's what it is. He's not sold on the project at Chelsea Football Club, and why should you be? Why should you be? If you're Matthias Tel, youngster, you see all the youngsters at Chelsea Football Club and how we don't seem to have proper plans for them. Why would you be excited to join Chelsea? And on top of that, from Chelsea's perspective, I don't understand why we are linked with yet another kid. Very talented player, don't get me wrong. Very, very talented player. And obviously meets the criteria of our project, our remit under the owners and the directors. Young player, probably cheap wages, and it's potentially going to be on loan because ultimately he probably wants to go back to Bayern. Obviously, right now he's not getting any game time. But he's another one of those players. He's not really an out and out striker. He's not really an out and out winger. He's something in between. He can play as a striker, he can play as a winger, he's something in between. One thing I have seen when I have watched him for Bayern Munich is he works hard. He definitely works hard. He's got a bit of pace about himself. He can shoot, but I mean, maybe he's looking at this whole situation that yeah, Chelsea's a good stepping stone club. It's a good club to get some exposure. Come to Chelsea, get the exposure in the Premier League, and then find your move next up wherever you want to go. Because for me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why we are entertaining this. I really don't understand it. When we need a little bit more experience, when we need someone who can come in and compete with Nicholas Jackson wholeheartedly, we don't need yet another kid, man. Another individual that's probably not mature enough. Probably not mature enough at this level. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to this news. Excuse me. For me, yeah, this is one that some people are saying, Ms. What would you choose? Would you choose between Tel and Garnacho? Who would you choose? Honestly, both are poor options. Both are severely poor options. Anyway, we move on to the next news. Ben Jacobs, Deivid Washington set to join Santos on a season-long loan deal being finalized, with Washington expected to leave before the window shuts. Story from this particular individual. What a waste. What a waste. Honestly, do we as a football club care about these players, these young players, these kids? Do we have any due diligence? Do we have any responsibility towards their career? We just bring them in, and I don't see. And look, I was about to say I don't see any plan. How can we have plans for so many kids? It's impossible. Is this a football club, or is this truly a daycare center where we look to develop players? And in this case, what did we even develop? He came from Santos and he's now going back to Santos on loan. Some people are saying great business once again. Great business. He's going to get to play with Neymar. Well, let me show you all the great business that we've done, ladies and gentlemen, since the new owners and the directors have taken over. Some were before the the two directors were appointed. But these are just some examples. There's so many more that I couldn't even be bothered putting down in this tweet. Check this out. Since the new owners took over, the amount of great business they completed has been stupendous. Cassidy, 14.86 million. Chukwuemeka, 18 million. David Death Row Fofana, that's what I call him, David Death Row Fofana, 12 million. Slonina, 9.09, 9.10 million, really. Euros. These are all figures coming from Transfer Market. Desarcy, 45 million euros. And the list goes on. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Kellyman, right at the bottom, 22.5 million euros. As I said, there's so many more which I can't even be bothered applauding for. This is what our football clubs turn out to. Just stock market in and out, as many players as possible every single window. This is what's going to happen to Mathys Tel as well. Look, it's probably going to be an option, a loan, maybe with an option to buy. But if Mathys Tel has any level of integrity and a bit of brain cell, you wouldn't be entertaining Chelsea. Honestly, this is not a great place for kids to come. We have a lot of kids. We need experienced individuals now. People that can come in, no worries about adaptation or anything, and can just impact immediately. Immediate impact is needed. So, look, we'll see what happens with Mathys Tel, Deivid Washington. Mathys Tel, if you need any example, have a look at this one for Deivid Washington. Brother spent entire time at Chelsea Football Club in the under-21s. Must have been promised the world at Chelsea. And now he's back to Santos, where it all started. I won't even be surprised if we end up just selling him back to Santos sometime soon. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea haven't made any fresh contact on the player side for Duran. Aston Villa want 83.8 million. This is coming from Ben Jacobs. A lot of people are saying Duran, Miz, talk about Duran. It seems like we might be interested to get John Duran because Axel Desarcy's got his personal terms agreed with Aston Villa. João Felix rumored to go Aston Villa. Maybe there's a swap deal. There's no swap deal. Believe me, there's no swap deal. The fee is now too exorbitant. It's too much. The player is probably worthwhile. To be honest, the player is probably worthwhile getting. He'll be sensational competition against Nicholas Jackson. But that's the level of transfer fee we don't deal with. He got a new contract in Aston Villa. I highly doubt we're going to go. Highly doubt we're going to go after him. Not with that type of transfer fee. But, people, they're journalists out there that want to sort of get some excitement, dopamine back in the fan base, because we're going through a bad patch, and the best way to uplift the morale, uplift the mood, let's throw some of these information out there. It's not going to happen. John Duran to Chelsea, I'd be shocked now. That is the price tag that's been slapped on him. We are not going to be entertaining that. That's a certainty. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, talks for Alejandro Garnacho slowed down over the weekend. This is coming from Matt Law. Look, I still think this is probably a shout. Even though talks have slowed down, Man United need to get rid of some of their pure profit players for PSR reasons. I think still this one is in the cards. I wouldn't put this away. Even though, there's no information, don't worry. Something may happen out of the blue. For me, this is probably more of a chance than Mathys Tel. Mathys Tel is probably got a lot of options available. Is probably going to entertain Chelsea, if Chelsea's the last resort. Alejandro Garnacho is probably the one we are going to end up with. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer and closer to the window coming to an end. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about Mathys Tel wanting to quit Bayern Munich. Is that the player that you want, as opposed to Garnacho? Both are rubbish options anyway for me. Even though Tel is talented, it's not the kind of player that we need. It really is not the kind of player that we need. And let me know your thoughts in regards to Deivid Washington. Look at all the shenanigans that we're up to at Chelsea. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. Say goodbye.